the product costing and COPA. But maybe you will say like other areas are also there. So this is the like most like broadly, if we'll divide, it's 2 segment only. So in product costing, we have the product cost planning, we have cost object controlling, and we have material ledger. Okay, in short I'm writing ML, material ledger. And when we are going to calculate that cost, cost of production, you said like we have 2 cost, direct cost and indirect cost. It's true, we have direct cost. So in direct cost, we have the material cost. So it's not like when we are going to work on the controlling, we are only restricted to CO, because CO is completely integrated with other modules. So that means CO should be integrated with MM modules, CO should be integrated with SD modules, CO should be integrated with like PP module. Okay, so everything should be there. So that's why we are going to include here the direct cost and indirect cost. So that's why that I think I've given some idea. We are going to include something like bill of material. So that means, for example, let's say here I'm going to include the bill of material. So again, bill of material is something related to, or it is from PP. So that's why the bill of material configuration for when we are going to work on bill of material. So we are going to also do the PP settings. Again, when we are taking the material cost, in broader sense, maybe we are taking the material cost, but material cost means what? Maybe you have raw material cost, you have raw material consumption will be there, semi-finished consumption will be there, you have packing materials will be there, you have some what you can say, some different type of materials, secondary materials will be there. So all total will be your material cost. So when we are going to create the bill of material can be created for finished product, bill of material can be created for semi-finished product also. For example, let's say we will take the example of one car manufacturing company. So in car, we have we are going to see here multi-level product costing. Multi-level product costing means, suppose we are going to do the costing for the car. So that is the finished product. And in car, we have different components are there. We have like engine is there, that is one semi-finished product. We have let's say something body, something that is there, that is one semi-finished product. Because when you are going to calculate the cost of engine, again some sub components will be there. You have like some motor will be there, some piston, different type of things are there. So again, to calculate this cost of semi-finished product, again you have the raw material, multiple raw materials will be there. So all these things we are going to include in bill of material. That means we can say we will create a bill of material for finished product, and we have to create multiple bill of material for the semi-finished product. Again, maybe here we can say, let's say we can take 2 plants. In one plant we are going to create, we are going to manufacture, let's say engine. So that means engine will be manufactured in just broader level. I'm giving the idea. Engine will be, let's say we are going to manufacture in plant 2. We costed that cost, okay, and that cost we will transfer to, let's say, plant 1, because in plant 1 we are getting the final product. So cost will be calculated in one plant, and the same cost will transfer to the another plant, right? So that is known as your procurement alternatives. So for all these things we need a PP settings, otherwise it will not work. So that means I can summarize, when we are going to calculate the direct cost, we need the material cost, we need the like MM configuration is required, and MM integration should be required, PP configuration is required, and CO integration with PP is also required. Now labor cost. So when we are going to calculate labor cost, or let's make it production cost. So what is production cost? Multiple activities are there. You are going to introduce machine, so we are going to calculate the cost of machine. We are have labor cost, labor activity will be there. Maybe we are doing some assembling activity, that we have to capture. So this cost, maybe you can get it from the CO, but again here also we are going to add the PP or routing. Fine. So routing, again the PP setting. So in one, again one something here it will come the work centers. So work center, under one work center you are going to assign the cost center to capture the cost. But cost, how we will capture the cost? For example, if I will say this cost is some machine activity, and we have assigned this activity, where we are going to record the how many hours is required to manufacture one particular product or semi-finished product, how many hours are required, that we are going to measure in the PP. So that's why here we have to configure the PP settings, or we need to define the routing, and there we are going to capture the number of hours, number of units there. Then how it will be work, like for example, like there should be some formula, right? Then only we can capture the cost per unit calculation all. So that means in PP we are going to write all this formula. In real project, what will happen, you have separate PP consultants are there and they are going to take care of these things. But here, like for example, if I will ignore this part, maybe somewhere, maybe let's say in some books or material, you will find everything configured in the 1000 company code or the standard company code. In standard company code, you can try that, you can do the configuration, but lot of things you will not get the idea, right?
So
So better, yeah, please go on.
so you're saying, so in routing, you're talking about the units of measure, like you
Units
said,
of
hours.
measure, yeah, how many hours and it is applicable there. Like for
Okay.
example, if you're taking, let's say, packing activity, so per unit cost we are going to calculate in CO, but how many packing hours required to related to one finished product, that or semi finished product, that we are going to measure in the routing.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so this is here this is how we are going to calculate the activity cost. So I'm not specifying only labor is specific, we are going to include multiple activity types. So when one work center, we are going to add 6 activity type right now. So this will be all total, I can take the activity cost. Then there are some applied overheads are there. That is also direct cost, applied overheads, or that is known as rate, overhead rates also. That is also some, you will find somewhere, overhead rates. So, right now, how we are going to calculate this cost? This will be on the base of like on material cost and on the activity cost. So on production cost, some percentage. So again, it is completely formula based. We have to derive, or we have to develop the formula. But all total is your direct cost. Why direct cost? Because directly we are going to consume the cost in particular cost center, any production cost center. Now coming to indirect cost. So indirect cost calculation is very important because initially we are going to record the cost with a indirect with a production sorry, admin cost center or maintenance cost center, and that day we have also seen in detail some allocation examples. So this is how we are going to calculate the indirect cost. So indirect cost allocation, this is very important area when we are going to take the overhead management. So right now whatever we are discussing, it is overhead management. So that means we will record the cost in one particular cost center, and we are going to transfer this cost to another cost object or multiple cost object. So maybe I've taken some example, one cost center we recorded the cost and we transferred this cost in the month end to the another cost centers. So how we are going to do the distribution, how we are going to do the allocation? Is it some divided by 3 4 or something? No, we have to apply different allocation methods because this process is so much complicated. If you give this to your user, it will be very much complicated. All these things are there. So then this will be your, at this stage we are going to get the factory cost. Then you are going to add the indirect cost, various indirect cost will be there. So this will be your COGM, cost of goods manufactured. Then again, with this cost of goods manufactured, you are going to add the selling cost or advertisement cost like this. Then you are going to get the COGS. So we have calculated the cost of production, we have calculated the cost of goods sold. Then the selling price we are going to, again, where we are going to derive the selling price? In SD. So that's why COSD integration is required. If we are not going to do the COSD integration, this part will not work. What is COPA? We have in between, we have something, profit center accounting is also there. Okay, if we compare profit center accounting and COPA, profit center accounting and COPA, profit center is single dimensional, because profit center also we are having cost, profit center also we are having the revenue, so that we can do the comparison. But if I need a complex report, or let's say multiple characteristics value fields I am going to add, so in that case we will go for the profitability analysis. And right now in ECC, so profitability, we have two type of profitability analysis are there. Account based, because some disadvantages are there in the account based, so we recommend the account costing based also, so that we can see the cost of goods splitting also. So that's what we are going to see, but these are the advanced level things we are right now discuss. But when we are going to start, as you told, you don't have much idea, so I will start from the organization structure, right? And we will first discuss the basic things, but very soon we are going to capture the advanced things. And right now I'm just giving some simple scenarios. I'm going to share you this particular sheet, which is standard sheet I prepared. So where I created, as for my own assumption, certain cost center and cost center groups. So different groups are there. This is my plant. We are going to take this profit center. So this sheet I will share with you. So different cost centers I have created, secondary cost elements. These are the workings, right? And I will give you two real blueprints. So two different blueprints I will give you to both. And you just apply these cost centers in that particular blueprint. Do the necessary changes. If let's say you are finding some cost center needs to be added, you add it, or some cost centers need to be removed, you can remove it here. But this is here I have taken some escapes. These are the escapes maybe we can create, or maybe these are the different activity types are applicable. So this is a standard sheet I prepared, but you can take the scenario from the blueprint while doing the configuration. Okay, so this is how we are going to proceed. So basic, we are going to see the cost of production calculation and COPA. But when we are going to do the cost of production COPA calculation, we have different subcomponents. Subcomponents, like first we are going to work like when you are working in FI. So you work first the organization structure, then you did the general settings, global settings, then you gradually you started working on the different submodules. Maybe it is GL, AR, AP, like this. Here also same. First we are going to create the organization structure, then under organization structure we are going to create different hierarchy, all this cost center hierarchy. We are going to create controlling area, everything we are going to do. Then we will see the general settings. Then we are going to start with cost center accounting. The reason is cost center accounting is part of one part of your cost of production. But first we are going to complete all these internal subcomponents. Then only we are going to work on the product costing. But basically this is the area where our focus will be, the product costing.
So,
Okay, product
sorry,
costing, cost of the controlling.
Pradeep,
Yeah, yeah.
can you just say that again? The reason that you're going to go into the cost center accounting later?
No. Cost center not later. Initially, I will start with cost center accounting only.
Oh, okay. You're gonna start. Okay.
Initially, we will start with cost center accounting, because
Yes.
if we'll not complete cost center accounting or internal order, then our product costing will not work. So we need this subcomponent first needs to be configured.
Okay. Yep. So
Okay,
okay. Yep. Okay. Thanks.
right. So your organization structure, like it will be typically your CO point of view, organization structure will be like this. So in top hierarchy, as you know, we have a operating concern is there. Operating concern is required for your profitability and cost and profitability analysis, or for COPA purpose. Under this operating concern, you can add one or multiple controlling area. Although you have selected on ECC platform, but just for your reference, I will also update you the same scenarios which is already configured there. I can also show you in S4 system. Okay, so although we will not do the configuration, I will show you the end part so that you can find the difference, what is there right now, the like how it is simplified, how these things are reconciliations, all these online reconciliations are not required, how it is going to update immediately in your FI. So that also you can get some idea, like in from S4 point of view also. So same scenario, like already we have the batches in there in the S4, so that also I can show you the final output. Okay, so but this is on ECC controlling area. Then under controlling area, you are going to create the cost center standard hierarchy. Okay, cost center standard hierarchy. Under this cost center standard hierarchy, then you can create multiple groups. That's what I was explaining that time. You can see here I have taken multiple cost center group. I will show you general settings, but when I recommend, when you are going to practice, you do it properly so that you will get the complete idea. So you can take, let's say, one cost center groups like this. Okay, you can take one profit center, as this is my cost center hierarchy, let's say, and this is my profit center. This is one profit center, and this is one profit center. Okay, under one profit center, you can create multiple cost center groups. So these are my cost center groups. Some cost center groups you can create under plant 1, some cost center groups you can create under plant 2, and each, if you'll see at plant level, we have an admin department, plant 1. Here also plant 1 admin department is there. So although it is repetition, but you can see a complete hierarchy in organization structure point of view, because most of the time when you are going to work on the project, you will find this type of typical standard hierarchy will be there. Somewhere it will be more, somewhere it will be less, but it will be like this one. So you can create multiple cost center groups. So let's say we have created a cost center group here under the standard hierarchy. Let's take it very simple way. I will take here 3 cost center groups, suppose. So one I can take, let's say, production. One I can take admin, and I can take the service. Under this, you are going to create multiple cost center. The reason is we are going to calculate the cost of production, or we are going to prepare the cost sheet for this production cost center. But we have to consider this cost also. So when we will do the month end activity, this cost we need to settle it here in the allocation. Okay, so all these things we will see later. Let me start with very basic configuration. I think I missed it. I need a configuration. FI configuration is required. So let me quickly do this configuration. Okay, I just forgot. I do it at my end. Okay, let me quickly create a company code. What happened to system? I think you don't have access, right, Tinku Ziad?
Not at the moment, but I think on Monday or Tuesday we'll get access.
After this session, I will provide you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Some connectivity issue at my end or what? Okay, I just forgot to create. I was supposed to create a company code and all. Just give me 10-15 minutes. I will complete the setting so that I can create the controlling area. Okay. So this company code we are going to follow here. Let me quickly create the company code. We can, one option we can copy from 1000 company code, but better we will create our own. So just,
That's fine.
my connectivity slow or what? Why I'm getting very slow response from system? It's GA. HP 13. Okay, I just created one company code, and here I have assigned one chart of account HP 13 and fiscal year variant as K4. Okay, field status variant posting period I have assigned L100 because it is my earlier configuration was there, and I just shared the assigned the same thing. Okay, rest of the things I will complete at my own end, but we can continue with the controlling setting. So first thing, we are going to create the organization structure, and in organization structure we are going to define the controlling area and the integration between FI and CO. Okay, and the standard hierarchy also. So let's start with enterprise structure. Enterprise structure, definition, controlling, maintain controlling area. So in this organization structure, we are going to activate certain cost objects, like we are going to activate cost center accounting, we are going to activate the internal order, we are going to activate the product cost controlling, we are going to activate profitability analysis. We are not going to activate cost element. Cost element is not the cost object. It is used right now. It is this primary cost elements used for FICO integration purpose. But again, this cost element concept is removed in S4. So this is not like it's a, you can say, duplication of work we are doing here. So I will give you the comparison with S4 HANA why it is removed also. But here we are going to follow the cost element, both primary and secondary. In S4 HANA, this primary cost element and secondary cost element merged with ledger. Okay, so once I will create, I will give you the detailed information. So I'm going to create a controlling area. Okay, so when we are going to create set up the controlling area, so here we need a chart of account. Right now, you can take a different chart of account in ACC. You can take a different chart of account, and fiscal year variant also you can take different. For example, for FI point of view, if you're going to take your fiscal year variant, something let's say K4, here you can take V3, right? In S4 HANA, it is mandatory your FI fiscal year variant and your CO fiscal year variant both should be same. It is mandatory. Whereas right now in ECC, you can take a different fiscal year variant, but I have assigned the same fiscal year variant. Then here you can see in assignment control, two options are there. One option is controlling area equivalent to company code. That means, let's say you have only one company code is there, and you are going to assign the same company code under one controlling area. So you can set this relation, controlling area same as company code. But we are going to work on this relation, cross company code cost accounting. That means under one controlling area, we are going to add multiple company codes. So, okay, so that is cross company code setting, so that we can do the stock transfer, we can do the cost transfer, all these things we can see here. So cross company code settings we can see. So that's I'm taking this one, cross company code cost accounting, and we can assign multiple company code. Now coming to currency type. So currency type, you can continue with company code currency if there is only one controlling area and one company code. But as we are going to add another company code here, so better take the controlling area currency. Your company code currency 10, company code currency, sorry, controlling area currency we have selected as 20. It's controlling area currency, and whatever you want to take as controlling area. For example, our base controlling area, let's say our base company code in INR, or our local currency is INR, but we want to assign here two company codes, one company code in USA, one company code in India. So for two company code, your local currency will be USD and INR respectively, but controlling area currency, we want to take USD. So when you are going to post the transaction, everything transaction you are going to post in the local currency, let's say in INR, but it will be in controlling point of view, it will be reported in CO, or that is your controlling area currency. So you will get both information, local currency information and as well as the controlling area currency also. So in our case, both controlling area currency and company code same. We will take a different company code, maybe in INR, and we will assign here. Save it.
So you basically want to be able to assign multiple company codes to the
Multiple
controlling
company
area.
codes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. One-to-one relation is simple. Cross company code is the we can see the advanced functionality. That's why. Why it is little slow?
It says saved. Yeah.
Fine. Now go for the assignment. Assignment, controlling. Assign company code to controlling area, one or multiple. And assign controlling area to operating concern. Right now we don't have the operating concern. Once we'll work on COPA, that time I will create it. Take your controlling area.
So you're saying only once you're wanting to use COPA do you assign the controlling area to the operating concern?
Operating concern. No,
Okay.
like training point of view, that time I will add, but when you will go for implementation, operating concern they will create and they will assign it. I will do it later.
Okay.
So I added the company code, and future I am going to add one more company code. So when you will practice, you take one practice point of view, take same like one simple one, and you applied immediately after class the same scenario there. And for practice point of view, advanced practice point of view, I will give you the blueprint and you try there, because maybe that will be a little bit complicated. You need some time. So try to complete your practice on same day. For example, let's say after session, if try to possible, you just complete it. Because right now we are up to cost center, you are not going to face any problem. But once we'll start working on the allocation, so it will be better if we'll practice it the same day. That will be the best practice.
Yeah.
So I created the controlling area and I assigned the company code. Now I'm going to activate certain business functionalities. So go to your controlling, general controlling, organization, and maintain controlling area. So controlling area already created. Here I'm going to add the cost center hierarchy, standard hierarchy, and I'm going to activate certain business functionalities, what we are going to work. Go to details. You can see here cost center standard hierarchy is missing. You just add it here. This does not exist. Yes to create. Then activate components. This step is even mandatory for FI when you are going to practice or when you are going to work on FI. Let's say it's a service industry, or we don't need so much complicated like in detail your controlling area or the cost centers, everything. But still you have to activate the cost object controlling, because if you will not activate the cost object option, this option, or you will not create a cost center, maybe you can't skip the cost center. You can change the field settings, you can post the transaction without the cost object, but at least you have to create the controlling area, you have to assign with your company code, and you have to activate at least one cost object. So this is even when you are going to work on the FI also, this step is mandatory. New entry, take the fiscal year 2018 to infinity, and what are the things we are going to work. This is the T code OKKP, and this step you can activate all the cost object one time here, or before each submodule also you can get this screen. You will find in before each submodule. Before cost center accounting it is there, internal order it is there. So like here you can also activate at a time, or individually you can activate also. So I'm going to activate cost center accounting, activity type, order management, commitment management, and profit center accounting. Save it. Okay, this is done. So we have created the basic settings. Now coming to the next one.
How come you
Yes.
didn't click on cost
Which one?
cost objects? There's a checkbox. Do you know?
Which one?
I think there's a checkbox say if cost objects. Below profit center accounting that you just checked. You see, it said profit center accounting project sales orders cost objects.
Yeah, we are going to activate when we are going to work on the cost object controlling. That time we are going to.
Okay.
So this is the
Okay.
costing on the basis of sales order, costing on the basis of cost object, that is your product cost on the production order. So we are going to work on this area. I
Okay.
just activated from overhead management point of view now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we need to activate this company code validation also. That's why I told you this screen will be there before each submodule. You can that time also you can activate one by one.
Mm.
Now maintain number range for controlling document. This step is similar what you have in the document type. In OBA7 you have the list of document types are there, and here we have the business transactions are there. So we are going to create one group and we are going to activate different business transactions. Okay, so what are the activity we are going to do? We are going to post the FICO transaction. So you need to activate one. You are going to do the assessment allocation. That for that also you are going to activate the business transaction. You are going to do the reposting of cost. So it's completely same. Like for example, if you want to post the customer invoice in SD, or then it should be mapped, the RV document type should be active. You have to create the number range. If you're going to post a customer invoice without sales order, then DR should be there. We have in FI. Same thing here also. You have to activate different business transaction. So
Cool.
controlling area, sorry, create one group. This transaction code is KNK. Click on add the controlling area. Click on groups. Okay, so these are the business transactions are there, which are there in the unassigned list. We are going to create one group and we are going to assign those. So create one group. And create the number range. So what are the business transactions are required? We can activate or we can add to our group. So right now I'm going to add coin, select assign, select your group. Then we are going to do the cost reposting also. Repost CO line items. You just add those also. Like I'm going to add this repost cost RK1. Select assign RKU3. Repost of CO line items. Okay, rest we will do when before each scenario I will activate the business transaction so that you can link the business transaction with the particular different scenario. So right now I've just activated 3 only. Coin, RK1, RKU3, save it. Then activate the version for planning purpose. We are going to create here like standard we have only one version is there, 0 version. When we are going to work on the planning, so we have the version is there, and also we are going to add one more version for the material ledger point of view. Okay, so all these versions are there, or you can create your own version also. Maintain version. Something Something wrong with system, working a little slow. So you can see here this zero version. So this zero version we are going to use for your legal valuation. So what is legal valuation? Legal valuation means right now whatever the transactions we are going to post, everything will be posted with the legal valuation. And in future we are going to add one more valuation that is related to material ledger. We are going to add one more valuation, let's say group valuation. So for that purpose we need to add one more version here. Okay, for example, if you'll see here, controlling area settings, add your controlling area. So see this zero version default valuation, that means under this zero version we have added assigned our controlling area, and we are going to work under this version both your planned and actual, and it is for legal valuation purpose. So with this by default you are going to get 5 years. If you need more you can add also. Okay, so let's go into detail. Right, so here we have a planning tab and we have a price calculation tab is there. So we have some requirements when we will work on the scenario. So we are going to basically, this is related to your indirect activity allocation. That time we are going to work on this area, and when we are going to the planning, that time we are going to work on this area. So cost exchange rate type I have maintained here, the rate for M. So let me change it here, the exchange rate type. Right now, no need to do anything, just maintain your version so that we can do the planning. Similarly, if you want, you can create one version for material ledger or group valuation purpose. So I already created one version here. See, right now it is not assigned with your controlling area. If it is any controlling area assigned, so you can, does not exist.
So for example, the group valuation, is that when you're wanting to do a planned version for the group as a whole? That's why you have that 909.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So you can see here for this controlling area N110, this is just for example I'm showing, we have two versions are activated. One is your zero version. So this one, the legal valuation, and the same settings we have, what we have right now we just completed. Then along with this, for material ledger purpose, we have activated one more version also. (909). Okay, this is for group valuation. Here also we have some settings or some year you are going to define. So which is completely we are going to use with material ledger point of view. So just added one more version, planning purpose. So right now we have just activated the zero version. Okay, and in future we are going to also activate one more version for our controlling. Now let's start with the cost center accounting. So we completed the basic settings related to controlling area. Now we are going to work on, parallelly we are going to work on cost center accounting and cost element accounting. So as I told, we are going to create here certain cost centers. So you are going to create the cost center from this list, or whatever the blueprint I will provide you. So I'm just going to create a simple cost center hierarchy. First, I'm going to take the cost center group. Okay, let's take this as my group will be HP100. Another group I'm going to create HP200, HP300. One production, admin, and service. standard hierarchy already created, so you can verify this one also. Cost center accounting, you can see here our standard hierarchy. So right now nothing has been assigned, nothing is there, only the standard hierarchy only created. Controlling area, under that cost center standard hierarchy. Controlling area, then cost center standard hierarchy. Okay, give some description, it's blank. P cost center standard hierarchy. Save it. You can create the cost center group or cost center from easy access or from IMG also. Okay, so let me create the cost center group first. Transaction code KSH1. You can see this screen. Okay, OKKP. Here also individually you can activate. So it's nothing but same screen only. So you can activate the business functions. Master data and create the cost center. So first I'm going to create the cost center group. Define cost center group. Create cost center group. So as for example, I will take cost center group as HP 100, HP production unit.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hi, Tinku.
Hi. Is it frozen?
Could just wait for 2 minutes. I think he had some internet issue. He'll be joining. Just 2 minutes. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. Is that Ashwini?
Yes, Tinku.
Ashwini, will you provide us the recordings, please?
Yeah, I think only demo has been done. Today's I'll be sharing it to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's resolved. Actually, internet fluctuation is there from my end. That's why system like slow access I'm getting. Next time, although it is connected now, next time if it will be down a little bit, so I will change my internet. Okay. So just give me 2 minutes. Not now. Let me continue. If in future it is going to fluctuate, then I will log off for 2 minutes and I will change my internet setting and I will relog in. Okay. Let me continue. It's now. It's done. What's he saying? Just give me 1 second. Ashwini is saying something. let's continue. Okay, so these are the cost center group, or it's disconnect. Let me try again. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Now I think it's better. So what we did, we created a cost center group. Let me add the other cost center group also. Cost center groups. It's saved or not saved? Not saved, I think. HP 100. One second, it is wrongly disconnected, so that's why it is locked. Yes. It's not saved. So HP production unit, save it. Create one more, HP 200, P admin, HP 300, service. So these are the groups, and why groups are required when we'll go for the cost center allocation, or maybe when we'll go for reporting purpose. So that time group required, but for posting the transaction, we are going to use the cost object, and cost center is your cost object, not the group. Now this one we will assign with our cost center standard hierarchy. So cost center accounting, then master data, standard hierarchy, change. So under this, directly you can assign the cost center, or you can assign the cost center groups. But we have the cost center group is there, so we are going to assign the cost center group, assign it. Production, cost center group, service. Okay, fine, save. Now we will create the cost center, and we will create a cost center under this cost center group. And we have something here, cost center categories. So this cost center categories, basically we are activating this cost center category to control the field settings of cost center. For example, we can create production cost center, we can create some service cost center categories, right? When we'll create the cost center, that there we are going to assign the categories, and these categories you can create. Cost element categories are system defined, but cost center category we can create. Also, some system provided cost center categories are there. You can find these cost center categories here. This one, define cost center categories. Transaction code OK A2. So here you can see like some users maybe created some cost center categories like this, but system delivered cost center categories are there. So it's already there. It's up to you which cost center category you want to. You want to create your own cost center category, or you are going to cost system delivered. That means for this cost center category, can we maintain the quantity or not? So if it is activated, then we can maintain quantity. If it is not there, so primary costing, secondary cost is applicable or not, planning that we can do or not. So these are the control parameters related to the cost center. So whatever the cost center category you are going to assign to the cost center, accordingly your cost center is going to behave. So I'm going to create the cost center now, create the cost centers, create the cost center. So what we will take, three cost centers I'm going to add here. Let's say production one. If you'll see this sheet here, I have given multiple cost centers with different categories, and these categories are there in the system. From the system only I have taken this input, and this is your hierarchy. You are going to create the hierarchy, cost center hierarchy, that we are going to, these are nothing but we are going to put this as your group or cost center hierarchies. Like we created the cost center group, similarly you can create this type of cost center groups. And this is the profit center. So if you'll see here, I have taken, that means in this example I have taken plant as profit center. Three profit centers I have taken. One is your top level management, one profit center, plant one profit center, plant two, one profit center. Under one profit center we are going to assign, or you work like this, you create multiple standard hierarchy or multiple groups. So under one cost center group you create multiple cost centers. So like some departments you can see CO office, admin office, legal, this put under the top management. Okay, this one. And what is this 000? I have given the description here. So you can say management cost
Excuse
centers.
me, what is category?
Category, this one we
Yes,
are
because-
using category just to control different fields of cost center.
Okay. That used to for?
For example, if here different this field settings are there. Suppose you
Yes.
want to create a cost center and you don't want to use quantity. Suppose, then just uncheck it. So you are going to assign the cost center category to the cost center, but we can't maintain any quantity. For example, let's say we issued the raw material. You check this one. So for this cost center, when we issued the material, that means from when we issue the production material to production, we want both cost and quantity should be captured, not only the cost. So you can see here, that means this is my cost element, raw material consumption. So
Yes.
cost is 12,600, but nowhere quantity is there. But quantity is there. That field, that layout we need to change, but quantity is there because we added some quantity in our production when we issue the stock to the production. So if you'll see here, let me add it. You can see quantities are also recorded. That means in this cost center, we are capturing both cost as well as quantity. Let's say you have not activated the quantity, then only value will be there, not the quantity. Okay.
No. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, what are the control parameters you are going to
So will
apply
it
to
be
that
a
particular
required?
cost center?
So that means when you input the transaction there, you'd have to put the quantity in when the transaction
Yes,
is.
during transaction, if quantity will be there, then only it is going to. But in this categories, we are just activating this option. That means we can send quantity also. Both value and quantity will be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so those things we are going to add here. Let me show you another scenario. Not only related to material, even something when we are going to record the activity or we are doing the activity allocation also. When production cost centers, mostly it should be active in the production cost center. So if you see here, production cost centers. No, not this month. In allocation, we have the scope. We can activate both cost as well as quantity. Some scenarios are there. So I'm taking the production cost center, and you can see in certain area we have the previous example what I showed, that is a direct posting. During transaction we posted, that means both value and the quantity. So it was recorded with the material cost. But now you can see these two costs, this manual something R&D department, some activity settlement. You can see here activities are also we are recording. In this example, in this one, I don't remember what the actual scenario, but you can see here we have settled. This is a production cost center, and which is reposted. It is a secondary cost element. It is month end allocation. You can see the date. So in month end, when we settle the cost in this particular activity, we settle both cost as well as quantity. Whereas here we have only settled the quantity, not the cost. So the basic why I'm explaining all this, simultaneously not only the cost, we are also capturing the quantity, and for that purpose you need to activate the quantity option in your cost center. And directly in cost center, nowhere we are recording the quantity. We are going to include this quantity maybe in your transaction or maybe with your month-end allocation program everywhere, but this scope should be there. We can also capture the quantity along with your cost. So that you are going to define in the cost center category.
Yeah.
I hope it is clear now.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So this standard defined cost center categories are there. If you want, you can create your own and you can control here itself. Don't change anything in the standard. These are the standard. You can just copy from the standard and you can do the necessary changes if you want. Okay, I'm going to create the cost center. Cost center can be created from IMG and also it can be created from easy access also. Let me create from one from IMG and one from easy access. And in S4HANA, you can also create from Fiori. That means from cloud also, you can create. Third option is there. Controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost center, create cost center. Create cost center. Take the cost center. So we are taking something, give some number. So let's say I will take this HP 101, HP 102, and 103. I'm going to create one cost center from each. Then later you can, I will update this at my own, and accordingly you also create. Don't copy this organization structure. Okay, try to make it more complicated. This is a simple one I'm explaining, but I will show all the scenario, and you try to work like this so that it will be a full-fledged controlling configurations will be there. Cost center HP 101. Take the validity. So that means what is the validity period for this cost centers? From this date to infinity, this cost center is valid. Click on master data, HP production 1. Here you can give some department name also. Okay, for example, if it is a some car manufacturing company, you can take body shop, assemble, paint shop, something like that department name you can keep. You will get these details from blueprint. Then user responsible right now don't like who is the user. For example, if I will add here Pradeep, that means it is only maintained by user Pradeep. Don't assign any user. Maybe sometimes maybe I need to check your settings also, or you need to rectify. So don't assign your user. Okay, so that anyone can work on this master data. Then person responsible, who is the authorized person or department in charge, department head, so that you can define here. So let's say person responsible. This is production, so Mr. A, or management, so anything you can take here. Here you are going to, okay, department is production, and here you are going to define the applicable cost center category. Okay, so what I need to assign here, production. So whatever the different control parameters I have activated with the production, that is applicable now with this cost center. Standard hierarchy. If let's say you don't have any cost center group, so that means everything you are going to put it under the cost center standard hierarchy, or you can also assign under the particular group. So we have created the group, assign here the group. Then in some case you will find the company code field, and in some case you will not find the company code. If you have assigned only one company code to the controlling area, then this company code field will not be there. For me it is there, and it's showing the mandatory field also, because we have activated cross company code settings. So that's why you need to assign here your company code HP 10. If you want, you can assign the business area, but again this is not a mandatory one. You can skip it. Let me add a business area here. Profit center. In future we are going to add the profit center, but right now we don't have the profit center, but we will assign the profit center. So when you will save the data, it will ask you the profit center. I converted that error into warning message. So once you will save it, company code is what? It's, oh, so it's a different controlling area. It was selected because I was showing something in this controlling area. Standard hierarchy, production. Business area right now we don't have, so in future we will add it. Just save it. So once you will save the data, it will throw one message like business area profit center is active, but we are not assigning. No issue, just ignore the message and save it. In future we will create the profit center, and we are going to assign the business area. Okay, so just save it. So this particular cost center created. Now let's see this cost center. So if you'll see the control parameter, you can see certain control parameters are activated. When we have activated, we have not activated any control. So that means quantity can be recorded. We can have the actual revenue. We have the planned revenue. So as we assigned one cost center category there, so that's why all these control parameters are activated. So this is one cost center created. Let me create one more cost center
So
from
where
a
it
different
says
category.
so you know you've got the under lock, it's saying lock the actual revenues and planned revenues.
Log the.
Okay, lock actual revenues. Okay, so
So
okay, that's
suppose you
fine. I
want to
understand why.
log this
So
to primary postings, you can lock it, so no user can do this activity.
yeah, no, I'm
Master
just
data level.
looking at the ones that were checked, which is actual and planned revenues. I guess it's done because you're not ever going to
No, 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 no.
record your revenue against your your cost center. Yeah.
Create two more cost centers, HP 200. So this one I will take, let's say, admin. finance and admin. Then person responsible, department, cost center category. This is not production. So assign here administration. Standard hierarchy. Admin. Business area if you want to assign. Save it. Cost center created, then create one more cost center, HP 301. This is, let's say, what you can take, let's say, maintenance department, plant maintenance. Service cost center. Save it. Now I want to see what are the cost centers are created under this particular standard hierarchy. That is one option. You can go to the hierarchy and you can see. So this is our standard hierarchy for cost center. 3 groups are there, and in each group I have created one cost centers, and all cost centers are active now. That means ready for the posting. We can post the transaction. So rest I will complete at my own. I will create multiple other cost centers. Other things also you can see here. What are the cost centers are there? If we'll go to the cost center accounting master data, and in cost center 2 options are there. Individual, just now we created, create, change, display, delete, these things you can explore. And in collective processing, if you want to see at a time all the cost centers what are created, so you can use the case 13 transaction code. So here you can group wise find the cost center, or you can specify one cost center here. Let's say the cost center details you want to see, what are the parameters activated, that is the information we can get it here. Or if I'll select all cost center with this validity under this controlling area, everything will be there. Fine. Okay. Now next I will create the rest. This one I will complete at my own, whatever the pending cost centers are there. Now tell me any question if you have up to this, you can ask. Any question? Tinku, do you have any question?
Yes, yes. Sorry, I was this unmute and mute is taking some time. So I want, you know, this collective thing. Just 1 minute. This is called collective whatever.
This one.
What operation was it? Collective operation, collective processing. Yes, collective processing. Can you collectively create many cost centers using this as well, or is it only change,
Maintenance.
display, delete?
No, only change.
Oh,
This
you have
change,
rough
display,
entry.
delete.
Can you do that? So if we
Creation.
had like,
For example, for multiple cost
what is
centers,
rough entry?
you want rough entry means before posting the final transaction, you can try here also. Okay, you can see here different cost center name, business area. At a time we can maintain the different informations. You take the cost center, then take the name, assign with the business area. You just load the data at a time. Different
Excellent.
cost
Thank you.
centers.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and this
Category
one.
you can't, just one moment. Category you can't put in here, right?
No, I told you it's not the final cost center. Before any
Right.
check any scenario, you
Okay.
want to check anything,
Yeah. Okay.
just you can try it here. If everything is okay, then finally you can try it there.
Okay. Understood. And then we have collective change and display. That's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other question? Mohan, do you have any question?
No, that is good. Fine.
Okay. Now coming to the this cost element. This cost element concept is like, what is cost element? Right now, in we have two type of cost elements are there. One, primary cost element accounting. So in cost element accounting, we have the primary cost element and secondary cost element. Okay, when FI person is going to post a transaction, suppose I want to post a transaction in FI entry, and let's say this is my FI and this is my CO. So we have a ledger for electricity, and cost is 10,000. So when we are going to post a transaction in FI, this is required for my profit and loss. We want this cost should flow to the controlling, or from cost sheet point of view as overhead, part of overhead. This 10,000 should be recorded here. But we don't want to post two transactions, one in FI and CO. So that's why we are going to integrate both FI and CO. Okay, so how we are going to integrate? We are going to convert this ledger into a cost element so that we can flow the cost to controlling. Because we are going to post the in your F-02 or FB50, you are going to select the account. So account is related to FI, the GL. GL we are going to convert into controlling so that we can do the FICO integration, or it can be we can link a cost center with the cost element. So multiple options are there. You can go for manual selection posting, or you can go for the auto posting. Suppose you're trying to post a transaction. I selected one ledger here. I'm getting one error. Account 2002 requires an CO assignment to CO object. That means when your FI user is going to post the transaction, some CO object should be specified there. What CO object you want to, that again related to field settings in field status variant or group you are going to define. But at least some CO object into cost element. So that is the concept of primary cost element. When you are going to post any transaction, ledger should be converted into cost element. Ledger is part of your FI, cost element is part of controlling. So when you are creating creating cost element, what are the prerequisites? There should be one ledger should be there. So FI ledger should exist. That is mandatory things. Okay, FI ledger should exist. Then we are using this one for FI CO integration. When you are creating the ledger, so this is your GL master. I take the same example, GL number 2002, and you are updating two fields. In fact, three tables you are updating. Chart of account segment of GL, SKA1. Here you are adding some informations like the GL group, profit and loss statement, all this information, description, all this information you are adding. Then you have one more table is there, that is your SK B1 company code segment. Some company code specific fields you are adding like currency, sort key, then the field status group, this informations you are adding. And this is not important for our purpose, SK80 description. When you are converting this ledger into cost element, you are going to add two more table. One is your chart of account segment, and one is your controlling area. So chart of account segment, what you are adding, you are just duplicating whatever the information is there in the SKA1. So in the table CSKA, you are just duplicating the information what is there in the SKA1, and in controlling area, you are just duplicating the information what is there in the SKB1, except one particular field, that is your cost element category. Let's see the table. SKA1. We will take the same example, GL number 2002. Sorry, SC16 SKA1. Chart of account, GL account 2002. One more table, CSK. This is related to controlling or cost element. Chart of account 2002. Completely same information. This is your company codes related information. So here you have added the GL number 2002. Then the description, profit and loss statement activated, a group added the description, all this. Now coming to CSK. Here also same. That means here cost element ledger number 2002. Cost element is also 2002. Then same information, the description and all. Now see the company code segment. SKB1. Company code 2002. Ledger number. This is your FI data. CSKB. Controlling area 2002. Same information. Okay, except this particular field. This is one additional field what we are finding in this particular table. Other than this, all the fields are same. That means we are just duplicating the same information tables. Now you can see how many tables are we have updated for the same information. So that's why in S4HANA they completely removed this concept. They removed these tables, this CSK and CSKB. Only the cost element category now in S4 you will find in the SKB1. Okay, so they completely changed the GL structure there, right? And they added the cost element part there. So I will show that. But right now in ECC, this is the structure we are going to follow. That means if you're going to create the primary cost element, then it is mandatory. You have to create the ledger first, then we are going to convert into the primary cost element. Different options are there. You can create from the GL master, you can create from IMG, you can create from K01 from Easy Access, or you can go for the multiple. But first thing, when you are going to post the transaction, it is required we are going to convert the ledgers into cost element. Which ledgers we are converting? All the P&L. Mostly those ledgers are linked with your operation that we are going to considering as cost element. For example, let's say dividend receipt. Company invested somewhere, dividend we are receiving. That is not part of our operation. We are not going to consider that cost or that revenue for your profitability analysis, because in no way it is related to operation. So that's why it is not required. We are going to, in your, when you are going for the analysis of your profit, that time you are going to, that means after your what you call that PAT, after tax, whatever the revenue you are going to take, in there you can include this particular revenue, but not for your PBIT. So profit before interest and tax, for that, before that cost, that revenue we are not considering. So any ledger which is related to your operation, that we are going to convert into cost element, or simply we can say all the P&L items related to operation we are going to convert into cost element. The purpose is, the primary cost element purpose is, when we are going to post the transaction, system is going to generate two documents. One your FI document and one is your CO document. So in FI document you will find the ledger, and in CO document you will find the cost element. So let me show you one document. This is the table point of view. Now coming to document. So take any document, let's say this one. Here, okay, it's a different. Okay, here some cost center is there, and this is the FI document. In FI document, you have the account numbers are there, which is nothing but ledger. And you check CO document.
What happened, Pradeep? Yeah. Hello. What happened? I'm not getting connections of the internet link. Hello.
Hello. Yep, I can hear you.
Yes, yes, yes. Right now I will see. Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
What
hi.
happened there?
I think it was just a short delay there.
Tinku and Mohan, can you just wait for 1 minute? I think he is having some problem with net. Hello, Mohan, Tinku, and Z.
Hi there.
Actually, the trainer is facing some internet issue.
Yeah.
Actually, here